Hey everyone, this is going to be a review on these two Cold Steel training knives. So the first good thing about these training knives is they are good, affordable options. These are within the same price range as, say, wooden training knives. One thing I like about these is that since these are rubber, you don't have to worry about splitting, cracking, warping, rotting, anything like that. And since these are rubber, they do have the potential to be able to flex a little bit, not a ton, out of the box, unfortunately. These are actually pretty stiff out of the box, but you can modify them to make them flex more, which is exactly what I've done. Both of these handles have good texture on them. Not too aggressive, but not too slick either. A good compromise traction that feels really good in the hand. With both bare-handed and with gloves, it feels really good. They're both very ergonomic. As you can see, here's the handle on this one right here, and here's the handle on this one right here. They both also have palm swells, which is a nice feature, definitely makes it fit in your hand better. And these are both made to pretty much mimic their real counterparts. These are actually originally pretty much rubber replicas of two of their training knives, but of course I modified them to make them a bit safer for training. Now the first con of these knives is, although they do flex, which is good, they don't flex a ton when you first get them. These here I modified to make them so that they do flex easier, but they don't flex too easily. This one here, which is modeled after the Recon Tanto, had a sharp area right here, obviously, because it is supposed to be a Tanto shape. I ended up taking that off. I also narrowed the blade a bit to make it so that it does flex easier. And on both of these, I took some sandpaper to the guards right here, because when training with these guards can actually hit the wrist and break skin. When Becca and I were training with these, they actually did break skin on my wrist right here. So I rounded that off to make that better. Less likely to break skin now. And on this one, I did the same thing. I thinned the blade this way, although on this one I also thinned it a little bit this way. I basically removed the ridge, which Cold Steel should do anyways in my opinion. The ridge is generally done on a blade to stiffen it, so that it doesn't want to flex when stabbing into things. Well, for a training knife, I don't consider that a desirable feature at all. So I just ground that right off, just took it to my belt sander and I sanded it off. So for the money, I believe these are good training knives, although if you're buying these with the intention that you're going to be able to spar, with more full contact, you're not going to be able to. These things are so stiff when you first get them that they could probably be used for legitimate self-defense. That's not even a joke. Of course, I wouldn't recommend necessarily doing that, but they probably could. So I would recommend that Cold Steel find a way to take and make these to where they actually flex more without needing to modify them. And if you are going to buy these training knives, I definitely still recommend them. I think they are great for the money. They're excellent training knives. You don't have the cons of wood, as I explained earlier, like cracking, warping, things like that. You have a good grip on it, and it feels more like a real knife. But if you're going to train with these, I suggest think of these as still wooden knives, because the flex on these is not much at all, right out of the box. This one here flexes a bit more. This one definitely flexes more. But out of the box, these are very stiff blades, and you would still injure someone if you did a full thrust with something like this, unless the person was wearing some serious sparring gear. So that's pretty much it. I definitely recommend these if you are looking for something in place of a wooden training knife. If you're looking for something that you can do, closer to full contact sparring, these aren't it, in my opinion. So, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'll see you next video. See ya.